Control how you react to anything. Introduction. Your mind is the command center of your life. Every reaction, every decision, and every experience, it all starts with how you perceive the world. But here's the secret. You don't have to be a prisoner of your emotions. You don't have to let anger, fear, or anxiety dictate your actions. Imagine having the power to stay calm under pressure, to remain unshaken in the face of adversity, and to navigate life with absolute clarity and confidence. What if, instead of reacting impulsively, you could pause, assess, and respond with wisdom? The truth is, you can. Mastering your reactions isn't about suppressing emotions, it's about owning them before they own you. It's about developing the mental resilience to stay in control when life gets unpredictable. The way you respond to life determines everything: your success, your relationships, your happiness. And today, you'll uncover 7 powerful lessons that will help you reshape your thoughts, master your emotions, and take full control of your reality. The journey to true mental mastery starts now. Are you ready? Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Power of the First Thought. Train your initial reaction. Your first thought in any situation is the most powerful. It sets the tone for everything that follows. Whether you realize it or not, your mind is constantly making split-second decisions about how to interpret and react to the world around you. Most people react automatically, driven by deeply ingrained habits and emotions that have been programmed over years of experience. These automatic reactions are not always in your best interest. They can be impulsive, emotional, and sometimes even destructive. But what if you could take control of that first thought? What if, instead of immediately reacting with frustration when someone criticizes you, you could choose patience? What if, instead of feeling fear when faced with a challenge, you could train yourself to feel curiosity and excitement instead? The truth is, your initial reaction is not set in stone. It can be trained and rewired. Think of your mind like a muscle. The more you exercise control over your first thought, the stronger your mental discipline becomes. When something happens that triggers an emotional response, instead of reacting instinctively, pause for a moment. That brief pause allows you to reflect on what's happening rather than simply reacting on autopilot. It creates space for you to shift your perspective, to step back and choose how you want to respond, instead of letting old habits take over. Imagine you're stuck in traffic, running late for an important meeting. Your automatic response might be frustration, irritation, or stress. But what if, instead of letting that frustration take over, you trained yourself to pause and take a deep breath? You could reframe the situation by reminding yourself that getting angry won't change the traffic. It will only make you more stressed. Instead, you could use the extra time to listen to an audiobook, reflect on your day, or simply practice being present in the moment. This small shift in reaction might seem insignificant, but over time, it changes how you handle every challenge in life. The secret to emotional mastery lies in that fraction of a second where you decide how to respond. That brief moment is where you reclaim your power. When you train your mind to slow down and assess a situation before reacting, you take control of your emotions instead of being controlled by them. This is not about suppressing your feelings, but about transforming them into something useful. By practicing this technique consistently, you will begin to notice a change. Situations that once triggered anger or anxiety will no longer have the same hold over you. Instead of being controlled by your emotions, you will become the one in control. And when you master that first thought, you open the door to a life of greater clarity, peace, and self-awareness. Chapter 2. Detachment. Observing without absorbing. Life is unpredictable. People will say things that upset you, situations will arise that challenge your patience, and unexpected setbacks will test your emotional strength. In these moments, your ability to stay calm and composed depends on one crucial skill: detachment. Detachment is the ability to observe what's happening around you without letting it control your emotions. It doesn't mean you stop caring or become indifferent. Instead, it means that you develop the mental discipline to respond with clarity instead of reacting impulsively. Think about the last time someone insulted or criticized you. Did you feel anger bubbling up? Did you immediately react defensively? This is the natural human response. Most people absorb negativity like a sponge, allowing it to dictate their mood and behavior. But what if you didn't have to? Imagine being able to hear criticism without feeling personally attacked. Imagine encountering a stressful situation without allowing it to ruin your day. This is the power of detachment. Detachment allows you to see things as they are, rather than through the lens of emotion. It's about becoming an observer of your own thoughts and feelings, rather than being consumed by them. Picture yourself as the sky and your emotions as passing clouds. No matter how stormy the clouds become, the sky remains untouched. You are that sky, steady, unshaken, and unaffected by temporary emotions. One of the most effective ways to practice detachment is by creating space between the event and your reaction. When something triggers you, pause, take a deep breath. Instead of immediately reacting, ask yourself, does this situation deserve my emotional energy? Will this matter in a day, a week, or a year? This simple shift in perspective helps you step back and observe the situation objectively, rather than getting lost in it. For example, imagine you're in a heated argument. Your instinct might be to raise your voice, defend yourself, or prove that you're right. But if you practice detachment, you'll realize that winning an argument is not as important as maintaining your peace of mind. You can acknowledge the other person's words without allowing them to affect your emotional state. Instead of reacting aggressively, you can calmly state your perspective and disengage if necessary. Another key to detachment is understanding that other people's opinions, emotions, and behaviors are not your responsibility. You cannot control how others act, but you can control how you respond. If someone is rude or disrespectful, that is a reflection of them, not you. When you internalize this, you free yourself from the burden of taking things personally. Detachment is not about becoming cold or emotionless. It's about choosing what deserves your emotional investment. Not every battle is worth fighting. Not every comment needs a reaction. And not every problem is as urgent as it first seems. When you learn to observe without absorbing, you develop an unshakable mind, one that remains calm, clear, and in control no matter what life throws your way. Mastering detachment doesn't happen overnight. It's a skill that requires practice, but once you develop it, you will find that you no longer feel controlled by external events. Instead, you remain steady, composed, and at peace, no matter what is happening around you. Chapter 3. Reframing Reality. Turn obstacles into opportunities. Life is not about what happens to you, it's about how you interpret it. Every challenge, every setback, and every difficult moment can either break you or build you, and the deciding factor is your mindset. This is where the power of reframing comes in. Reframing is the ability to shift your perspective and see obstacles not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones to something greater. When you learn to control the way you interpret events, you gain control over how they affect you. Think about a time when something didn't go as planned. Maybe you lost a job, failed at something important, or faced rejection. Your immediate reaction might have been disappointment, frustration, or even hopelessness. But what if, instead of seeing it as a failure, you saw it as redirection, a push towards something better? Many of the most successful people in the world have faced massive setbacks, but instead of giving up, they reframed those experiences as lessons. Reframing is not about ignoring reality or pretending that bad things don't happen. It's about choosing to see the hidden value in every situation. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" shift your mindset to "What can I learn from this?" This simple shift changes your entire outlook on life. For example, let's say you applied for a job you really wanted and you didn't get it. The default reaction might be discouragement or self-doubt. But if you reframe the situation, you can see it as an opportunity to improve, to explore different paths, or even to prepare for something better that's yet to come. What if that rejection was actually protection from a toxic work environment? What if it was a push toward a path you were truly meant to take? The way you perceive challenges directly impacts your emotions and actions. If you see difficulties as unfair burdens, you will feel helpless. But if you see them as opportunities to grow stronger, you will develop resilience. The key is to recognize that every event in life is neutral. It only gains meaning based on how you interpret it. A great way to practice reframing is by changing the language you use. Instead of saying "I failed," say "I learned something valuable." Instead of saying "This is impossible," say "This is a challenge I can overcome." Instead of thinking "This is happening to me," think "This is happening for me." Small changes in language create powerful shifts in perspective. Another technique is to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Right now, a situation may seem overwhelming, but in the grand scheme of your life, will it really matter years from now? Will this hardship shape you into a stronger, wiser person? More often than not, the answer is yes. Reframing is a mental skill that takes practice, but once you master it, nothing in life will feel truly defeating. You will begin to see that even the most difficult moments contain hidden gifts, lessons that shape you, strengthen you, and prepare you for something greater. When you control how you interpret reality, you control your emotions, your responses, and ultimately, your entire life. Chapter 4. Master the Art of Emotional Alchemy, Transforming Negative Emotions into Power. Emotions are energy. They can either fuel your growth or drain your potential, depending on how you handle them. Most people believe that emotions control them, but the truth is, you have the ability to transform emotions into something useful. This process is called emotional alchemy, the art of turning negative emotions like anger, fear, and frustration into fuel for progress. Instead of being a prisoner to your emotions, you can learn to use them as a source of strength. Think about it. What happens when you let anger consume you? It leads to impulsive reactions, regretful decisions, and wasted energy. But what if you could redirect that anger into something productive? Some of the greatest athletes, artists, and leaders have used their frustration as motivation to push themselves further. When someone doubted them, they didn't let it break them. They used it as fuel to prove themselves. That's emotional alchemy in action. The first step to mastering emotional alchemy is awareness. When you feel a strong emotion, don't react immediately. Instead, pause and recognize what you're feeling. Ask yourself, what is this emotion trying to tell me? Emotions are signals. Anger may be telling you that something is unfair and needs to be addressed. Fear may be telling you to prepare more. Frustration may be pushing you to change your approach. When you stop seeing emotions as enemies and start viewing them as messengers, you regain control. The second step is transformation, choosing how to direct that emotional energy. Here's how different emotions can be turned into power. Anger, determination. Instead of lashing out when someone doubts you, Use that anger as motivation to improve. Channel it into work, learning, or physical activity. Let it push you forward instead of pulling you down. Fear. Preparation. Instead of freezing when you feel fear, let it guide you to take action. If you fear failure, don't let it paralyze you. Let it push you to prepare harder and improve your skills. Frustration. Creativity. When things don't go your way, don't give up. Use frustration as a signal that you need a new approach. Some of the greatest inventions and breakthroughs came from people who were frustrated with the way things were. Sadness. Reflection. Instead of drowning in sadness, allow it to make you more self-aware. Sadness can be a powerful teacher, helping you reflect on what truly matters and guiding you toward personal growth. The final step is action. Once you've identified and transformed your emotions, put them to use. If you feel frustrated about where you are in life, take that energy and turn it into disciplined effort. If you feel fear, take one small step forward despite it. Every time you use your emotions instead of letting them use you, you strengthen your mental and emotional resilience. Emotional alchemy is about reclaiming your power. Instead of being a victim of your emotions, you become the master of them. Negative emotions don't have to hold you back. They can be the very thing that drives you toward success, fulfillment, and personal growth. When you learn to transform emotions instead of being controlled by them, you unlock a level of strength and clarity that most people never achieve. Chapter 5. Silence as Strength. Responding without reacting. Silence is one of the most underrated tools of power. In a world where everyone feels the need to respond instantly, to defend themselves, to prove a point, or to react emotionally, silence becomes a weapon of control, clarity, and wisdom. When you master the ability to remain silent in moments of tension, conflict, or emotional turmoil, you gain an extraordinary advantage. You no longer give your energy away to meaningless arguments, unnecessary drama, or emotional outbursts. Instead, you become a person of depth, someone who speaks only when necessary, someone whose words carry weight because they are chosen with care. Most people believe that silence is weakness, that if you don't react, it means you're afraid, that you've lost, or that you don't know how to respond. But the reality is the opposite. Silence is the ultimate display of strength. It means you are not controlled by your emotions, nor are you easily provoked. It means you have trained yourself to step back, observe, and respond from a place of clarity rather than impulse. When you react immediately, you act from emotion rather than wisdom. You allow external events to dictate your state of mind. But when you pause and choose silence, you regain control. That brief moment of non-reaction gives you time to think, assess, and decide whether the situation even deserves a response. More often than not, you'll realize that most things are not worth your emotional energy. Consider a time when someone said something offensive to you. Your instinct might have been to argue, to prove them wrong, or to defend yourself. But what happens when you remain silent? When you don't react, you rob them of the satisfaction of controlling your emotions. Your silence forces them to reflect on their words. It creates an air of mystery, of confidence, and of strength. People expect a reaction. When they don't get one, they lose their power over you. In conflict, silence also allows you to observe. Instead of engaging in a heated argument, remaining quiet lets you see things from a broader perspective. You begin to notice patterns, why people say, what they truly mean, and whether their words even matter in the long run. Many people argue out of ego, not out of truth. When you refuse to engage in meaningless battles, you conserve your mental energy for things that actually matter. Silence is also a tool for self-discipline. When you learn to stay quiet, you develop patience, self-awareness, and emotional control. You no longer feel the need to explain yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You no longer feel pressured to speak just to fill the silence. Instead, you speak with intention. And when you do speak, people listen, because they know that when you choose to break your silence, your words will carry meaning. Silence can also be applied to your internal world. Learning to silence your own mind is just as powerful as silencing your reactions to the outside world. Most people are constantly trapped in overthinking, reacting mentally to every problem, reliving past conversations, or anticipating future worries. But when you train yourself to silence the unnecessary noise in your mind, you find peace. You learn to exist in the present moment, without being controlled by the endless cycle of thoughts and emotions. This doesn't mean you should never speak or express yourself. Silence is most powerful when used strategically. If a situation demands action, then act. If something needs to be said, say it. But when faced with negativity, anger, provocation, or unnecessary drama, silence is your best response. Not because you are weak, but because you are strong enough to rise above it. Mastering silence means mastering yourself. It means understanding that not every battle is worth fighting, not every comment deserves a reply, and not every situation requires your emotional investment. True strength is found in restraint, in wisdom, and in the ability to choose when to engage and when to let go. When you embrace silence, you will notice a shift in your life. You will become more mindful, more patient, and more in control. People will start to respect you more because they will sense the depth of your presence. You will no longer waste energy on unnecessary arguments, emotional outbursts, or mental distractions. Instead, you will channel that energy into things that truly matter. So the next time you find yourself in a situation where you feel the urge to react, pause. Stay silent. Let the power of your non-reaction speak louder than any words ever could. Silence is not just an absence of speech. It is a presence of strength. Chapter 6. The Power of Self-Talk. Rewire your inner voice. The most important conversation you will ever have is the one you have with yourself. Your inner voice shapes the way you see yourself, the way you respond to challenges, and ultimately, the life you create. If your self-talk is filled with doubt, negativity, and fear, those thoughts will manifest into your actions and decisions. But if you train your mind to speak to itself with confidence, encouragement, and resilience, you will unlock a level of self-mastery that few ever achieve. The words you repeat in your mind are not just thoughts. They are commands that program your reality. Most people are unaware of how destructive their inner dialogue can be. They constantly tell themselves, "I'm not good enough, I always fail, I'll never be successful, or I'm not smart enough to figure this out." These thoughts become deeply embedded in their subconscious, influencing their decisions, their actions, and even their body language. Over time, negative self-talk creates a self-fulfilling prophecy, making failure feel inevitable. But the truth is, you are not limited by your circumstances. You are limited by the way you speak to yourself. Imagine two people facing the same obstacle. One says, "This is too hard, I can't do this." The other says, "This is difficult, but I will find a way." The first person has already given up before they've even tried, while the second has kept their mind open to solutions. The way you talk to yourself in challenging moments determines whether you push forward or stay stuck. Your brain listens to everything you say, and it will shape your reality accordingly. The first step to mastering self-talk is awareness. Pay attention to the thoughts running through your mind throughout the day. Are they supportive, or are they tearing you down? Whenever you catch yourself thinking negatively, stop and reframe the thought. Instead of saying, "I'm terrible at this," say, "I'm still learning and I'm improving every day." Instead of saying, "I'll never be successful," say, "Success is a process, and every challenge is bringing me closer to it." The words may seem small, but their impact is massive. The next step is intentionally feeding your mind with positive, empowering thoughts. Think of your mind as a garden. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and insecurity, those are the thoughts that will grow. But if you plant seeds of confidence, strength, and determination, those will take root instead. Start your day with affirmations like, "I am capable of overcoming any challenge that comes my way. I am in control of my thoughts, emotions, and actions. Every day I am getting stronger, wiser, and more resilient." Repetition is key. Your brain learns through repetition, so the more you affirm positive beliefs, the more they become ingrained in your subconscious. Over time, these new beliefs will replace old, negative patterns, and you will naturally start thinking in a way that supports your growth. Another powerful technique is visualization. When you tell yourself, "I am confident and capable," visualize yourself handling a difficult situation with calmness and strength. When you say, "I am achieving my goals," imagine yourself succeeding, feeling proud and accomplished. Your brain responds to images as strongly as it does to words, so combining positive self-talk with mental imagery strengthens the effect. It's also important to eliminate negative influences that reinforce self-doubt. Pay attention to the people you surround yourself with. Are they encouraging and uplifting, or do they constantly bring you down? The words others say to you can shape your self-talk, so protect your mind from negativity. Spend time around people who inspire you, read books that empower you, and listen to content that reinforces confidence and growth. Mastering self-talk doesn't mean ignoring reality. If you're struggling with something, pretending everything is perfect won't help. Instead, use constructive self-talk, acknowledge the difficulty, but reframe it in a way that keeps you moving forward. Instead of saying, "I'm bad at this," say, "I'm working on improving this skill." Instead of saying, "I failed," say, "This was a learning experience and I'll do better next time." As you train your inner voice to be your biggest supporter instead of your worst critic, you will notice a shift. Challenges that once seemed overwhelming will feel manageable. Doubt that once held you back will fade. You will start believing in yourself at a deep level, and that belief will translate into confidence, action, and success. Your mind is always listening. Every word you say to yourself is shaping your reality. Choose your words wisely, and you will create a life that reflects the strength, resilience, and potential that has always been within you. Chapter 7. The Unshakable Mind. Control your inner world. Control your life. At the core of mental mastery lies one undeniable truth. Nothing outside of you has the power to control you unless you allow it. Most people go through life reacting to external events, letting circumstances, opinions, and emotions dictate their reality. But those who understand the power of the mind know that true strength comes from within. When you develop an unshakable mind, you become immune to chaos, criticism, and uncertainty. You take full control of your thoughts, emotions, and actions, no matter what is happening around you. The ability to remain calm, focused, and in control is not something people are born with. It is something you train. Just like a muscle, mental resilience grows stronger with consistent effort. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to build this strength. The more you learn to regulate your thoughts and emotions, the less the outside world can affect you. You stop being a victim of circumstances and become the master of your own life. The first step to developing an unshakable mind is understanding that you are not your thoughts or emotions. You are the observer of them. Most people get lost in their emotions, allowing fear, anger, or sadness to take over completely. But when you separate yourself from these emotions, you regain control. Instead of saying, "I am anxious," say, "I am experiencing anxiety." Instead of thinking, "I am failing," say, "I am facing a challenge." This small shift in language creates a powerful mental distance between you and your emotions, giving you the space to respond rationally instead of reacting impulsively. Another key to mental mastery is learning to let go of what you cannot control. Too often people waste energy worrying about things outside of their influence, what others think of them, what the future holds, or what went wrong in the past. But an unshakable mind focuses only on what is within its control: thoughts, actions, and attitudes. When you stop trying to control the uncontrollable, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and anxiety. Instead of resisting reality, you learn to adapt and respond with wisdom. One of the most effective ways to build mental strength is through daily mental conditioning. Just as athletes train their bodies every day, you must train your mind. Here are some practices that help strengthen an unshakable mindset. Morning mental reset. Start your day with a strong mental foundation. Before checking your phone or engaging with the outside world, take a few minutes to focus your mind. Set clear intentions for the day, visualize yourself handling challenges with ease, and reinforce positive self-talk. Control your focus. What you focus on expands. If you constantly dwell on problems, they will consume you. Instead, train your mind to focus on solutions, opportunities, and growth. Whenever a negative thought arises, challenge it and redirect your focus to something constructive. Detachment from outcomes. Many people suffer because they become too attached to how things should happen. They stress over getting a specific job, achieving a certain goal, or receiving validation from others. But an unshakable mind understands that expectations create suffering. Instead of obsessing over outcomes, focus on effort and progress. Trust that things will unfold as they should, and remain adaptable. Exposure to discomfort. Growth happens when you step outside of your comfort zone. To develop a resilient mind, intentionally expose yourself to challenges. Try things that make you uncomfortable. Speak in public, take on difficult projects, or engage in activities that test your patience. The more you push yourself, the stronger you become. Emotional mastery. Whenever you feel overwhelmed, pause. Breathe. Remind yourself that emotions are temporary and you have the power to control how you react. Instead of suppressing emotions, acknowledge them, process them, and then let them go. You are not your anger, fear, or stress. You are the one in control of them. An unshakable mind is also built through acceptance and adaptability. Life is unpredictable, and trying to control every detail will only lead to frustration. Instead of resisting change, embrace it. When things don't go as planned, see them as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles. Those who resist change suffer, but those who flow with life remain strong and flexible. One of the greatest tests of mental strength is how you respond to negativity and criticism. Weak minds get defensive, emotional, or discouraged when faced with opposition, but an unshakable mind remains calm and unaffected. When someone criticizes you, instead of taking it personally, analyze it objectively. Is there truth in their words? If so, use it as feedback. If not, let it go. You do not need to react to every opinion thrown your way. The moment you stop seeking external validation is the moment you become truly free. Building an unshakable mind is not about eliminating all emotions or becoming indifferent to life. It's about developing emotional discipline, mental clarity, and inner peace. It's about choosing how to respond rather than being controlled by external circumstances. When you develop this level of mental mastery, everything in life changes. Stress no longer overwhelms you, fear no longer holds you back, and negativity no longer affects your peace. You become someone who walks through life with confidence, focus, and inner strength, unmoved by chaos, unshaken by adversity, and unstoppable in pursuit of your goals. Control your mind, and you will control your reality. Chapter 8. The Art of Presence, Mastering the Moment to Master Your Life. In a world filled with distractions, overthinking, and constant noise, the ability to be fully present is one of the most powerful skills you can develop. Most people are not truly living in the moment. They are either dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. They are physically in one place, but mentally elsewhere, trapped in a cycle of regrets, fears, and endless mental chatter. But what if you could train your mind to be completely here and now, to fully experience life as it unfolds, and to reclaim control over your focus, emotions, and reactions? This is the art of presence, the ability to be completely engaged in the present moment without being controlled by the mind's distractions. When you master this, your life transforms. You no longer waste energy on things you cannot change. You stop over-analyzing the past and fearing the future. You learn to fully live, finding clarity, peace, and power in each moment. Why most people struggle with presence. The human mind is naturally wired to wander. Studies show that people spend nearly 47% of their waking hours thinking about something other than what they are currently doing. This means that almost half of the time, people are not actually experiencing their own lives. They are lost in thought. This is why so many feel unfulfilled, anxious, or disconnected. They are living in their heads rather than in reality. A major reason for this is that society conditions us to always look ahead. From a young age, we are taught to chase the next goal, the next achievement, or the next big thing. We believe that happiness lies in the future, once we get the job, once we make more money, once we find the right partner. But this mindset is a trap. If you are always looking to the future for happiness, you will never find it, because the future never arrives. It is always just ahead of you. The only place where life actually happens is right now. The power of the present moment. Think about this. No matter how much you analyze the past, you cannot change it. No matter how much you stress about the future, you cannot control it. The only thing you have power over is this very moment. The present is where all decisions are made, where all action takes place, and where your life unfolds. If you are not present, you are missing your own life. Presence is also the key to mastering your reactions. When you are truly present, you are not reacting out of habit, fear, or past conditioning. Instead, you respond with clarity and awareness. Someone who insults you cannot affect your emotions unless you let them. A stressful situation cannot overwhelm you unless you mentally leave the present and start overthinking its consequences. But when you stay rooted in the now, nothing can shake you. You see things as they are, without the added weight of unnecessary emotions or imagined fears. How to train your mind to stay present. Just like any skill, presence can be trained. Here are powerful techniques to cultivate a deeper connection to the present moment. Develop the habit of mindful awareness. Throughout the day, pause and ask yourself, where is my mind right now? Am I fully here, or am I lost in thought? Simply bringing awareness to your wandering mind helps break the habit of unconscious distraction. Use your senses to anchor yourself. The present moment is always accessible through your senses. Take a deep breath and notice the air filling your lungs. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Listen to the sounds around you. The more you engage your senses, the more you ground yourself in reality. Slow down and be fully engaged. Whether you're eating, walking, talking, or working, do it with full attention. When you eat, truly taste the food. When you listen to someone, give them your full presence. When you work, immerse yourself in the task without rushing. Life becomes richer when you fully engage with it. Let go of mental clutter. Many people struggle to be present because their minds are filled with regrets, worries, and distractions. A powerful way to clear mental clutter is to write things down. If something is bothering you, put it on paper, then consciously decide to let it go. Freeing your mind from unnecessary noise allows you to experience the now more fully. Limit digital distractions. Social media, notifications, and endless scrolling pull your attention away from the present. Set specific times to check your phone instead of letting it control your focus. The less you rely on external stimulation, the more present and centered you will become. Practice deep breathing. When you feel stressed or overwhelmed, take a few deep breaths. This simple act brings you back to the present moment. Your breath is always in the now. Following it is one of the fastest ways to return to presence. Reframe your perspective on time. Instead of constantly thinking about the future, remind yourself that the present is the only time you truly own. You don't need to rush through life. The journey itself is just as important as the destination. How presence transforms your life. Once you begin practicing presence consistently, you will notice profound changes in your life. You become more calm and centered. Small problems no longer shake you because you no longer react impulsively. You respond with wisdom and awareness. You experience deeper relationships. When you are truly present with others, they feel it. Your conversations become richer and your connections more meaningful. You stop overthinking and worrying. Presence frees you from the endless cycle of what-ifs and regrets. You learn to trust yourself and handle life as it comes. You enjoy life more. When you are fully present, you actually experience life instead of just moving through it. Simple moments become fulfilling, and happiness is no longer something you chase. It is something you live. Final thoughts. An untrained mind constantly drifts into the past and future, wasting energy on things beyond control. A trained mind, however, remains rooted in the now, where all power exists. The ability to be present is not just a mental skill, it is a way of living, a way of mastering your mind, and ultimately, a way of mastering your life. Everything you seek, peace, clarity, success, and fulfillment is already here. You just need to be present enough to experience it. Chapter 9. The Discipline of the Mind. Training yourself to think with clarity and control. Your mind is the most powerful tool you possess. It has the ability to shape your reality, influence your emotions, and determine the course of your life. But for most people, their mind is undisciplined. It wanders aimlessly, gets easily distracted, and is controlled by external influences rather than by their own will. An undisciplined mind is reactive, chaotic, and constantly seeking distractions, while a disciplined mind is focused, controlled, and capable of handling any challenge with clarity and composure. Disciplining your mind means training it to work for you rather than against you. It means strengthening your ability to focus, control your emotions, think critically, and remain calm in any situation. Just as a weak body can be strengthened through training, an undisciplined mind can be sharpened through mental exercises and habits. The more you train your mind, the stronger and more unshakable it becomes. The problem with an undisciplined mind. Many people live in a constant state of mental chaos. They struggle to focus for long periods. Their thoughts jump from one thing to another, and they find themselves trapped in overthinking, self-doubt, and emotional instability. Their emotions dictate their actions, their fears hold them back, and their ability to think clearly is clouded by distractions. An undisciplined mind leads to lack of focus, inability to concentrate on tasks for extended periods, emotional reactivity, reacting impulsively rather than responding with wisdom, overthinking and stress, constantly analyzing past mistakes or worrying about the future, dependence on distractions, always needing entertainment, social media, or external stimulation to feel engaged, inability to handle adversity, feeling overwhelmed by challenges instead of facing them with resilience. The good news is that just as a weak muscle can be trained, so can a weak mind. Through consistent practice, you can develop the ability to think clearly, stay focused, regulate emotions, and strengthen your mental endurance. How to train your mind for discipline and control. Master your attention. Control what you focus on. Your mind is constantly bombarded with information. If you don't control what you focus on, the world will do it for you. News, social media, and other external distractions will pull your attention in 100 different directions. To discipline your mind, you must take control of your focus. Start by practicing deep focus on one task at a time. Set a timer for 30 minutes and focus on a single activity without distractions. No phone, no notifications, no multitasking, just pure, concentrated effort. Over time, this strengthens your ability to focus for longer periods, making your mind sharper and more efficient. Develop mental toughness. Stop letting emotions control you. A disciplined mind does not let emotions dictate actions. Instead of reacting impulsively to anger, stress, or frustration, it remains calm and logical. The key to this is emotional awareness, the ability to recognize emotions without being controlled by them. Whenever you feel strong emotions rising, pause, take a deep breath. Ask yourself, is this emotion helping or hurting me? Do I need to react, or can I choose to let it go? The more you practice this, the stronger your emotional control becomes. Reduce mental clutter. Simplify your thoughts. An undisciplined mind is filled with unnecessary mental noise, overthinking, worrying, replaying past events, and stressing about things beyond control. This drains energy and creates mental fatigue. To clear your mind, practice thought discipline. When you catch yourself overthinking, say to yourself, "This thought does not serve me. Let it go." Redirect your attention to something constructive. Over time, your brain will learn to filter out useless thoughts and focus only on what truly matters. Develop a strong morning routine. The first thing you do in the morning sets the tone for the rest of the day. A weak mind starts the day in distraction, checking social media, reading negative news, or delaying important tasks. A disciplined mind starts the day with purpose. Create a morning routine that strengthens your mind. Avoid distractions for the first 30 minutes. No phone, no emails, no social media. Engage in a focus-building activity such as reading, journaling, or meditation. Set clear goals for the day to keep your mind directed and purposeful. Train yourself to handle discomfort. Mental discipline grows when you expose yourself to discomfort and push through it. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, your mind becomes stronger. This can be done by doing things you don't feel like doing, waking up early, exercising, reading instead of scrolling social media, taking on difficult tasks without complaining, working when tired, staying calm under stress, persisting through challenges, practicing patience, delaying gratification, controlling impulses, waiting without frustration. The more you train yourself to endure discomfort, the stronger your mind becomes. Over time, challenges that once felt impossible will seem easy because your tolerance for discomfort will increase. Limit mindless consumption. Control what enters your mind. Your mind is shaped by what you feed it. If you constantly consume negative news, pointless social media debates, and low-quality entertainment, your mind will be filled with mental junk. Instead, be intentional about what you expose yourself to. Read books that expand your thinking. Listen to podcasts or videos that inspire growth. Surround yourself with people who challenge and elevate you. Garbage in, garbage out. If you want a strong, disciplined mind, feed it with powerful and meaningful information. Practice stillness. Learn to be alone with your thoughts. One of the greatest signs of mental discipline is the ability to sit in silence without needing distractions. Most people cannot sit alone in a room without checking their phone, turning on music, or seeking some form of entertainment. Their mind craves constant stimulation because it has never been trained to be still. Start with 5 minutes of silence every day. Sit quietly with no distractions. Let your mind settle. Observe your thoughts without reacting to them. Over time, this practice builds an incredible level of mental clarity, self-awareness, and inner strength. How a disciplined mind transforms your life. When you take control of your mind, everything changes. You become highly focused. You complete tasks with efficiency and excellence. You develop emotional mastery. You no longer react impulsively to negativity. You stop procrastinating. You take action even when you don't feel like it. You increase your mental endurance. Challenges no longer break you. You gain absolute clarity. You know what you want and how to achieve it. Most people never take the time to train their mind, and as a result, they live a life of distraction, emotional instability, and lack of control. But those who commit to disciplining their mind unlock a level of focus, resilience, and inner power that sets them apart from the rest. Your mind is either your greatest asset or your biggest enemy. The choice is yours. Train it, control it, and use it to create the life you truly want. Chapter 10. The Power of Letting Go. Free your mind and take back control. One of the greatest sources of suffering in life comes from holding on to anger, regrets, past mistakes, toxic relationships, unrealistic expectations, and things that are beyond your control. When you hold on to something that no longer serves you, it weighs you down, drains your energy, and limits your ability to move forward. True mental freedom comes when you learn the power of letting go, not as a form of giving up, but as a conscious choice to free yourself from unnecessary burdens and reclaim your peace of mind. Most people resist letting go because they believe that holding on gives them control. They think that if they keep replaying the past, they can somehow change it. If they keep worrying about the future, they can somehow prevent bad things from happening. But this is an illusion. Holding on does not give you control. It keeps you trapped in an endless cycle of stress, fear, and frustration. Letting go, on the other hand, allows you to move forward with clarity and strength. Why people struggle to let go. Letting go is difficult because the mind craves certainty. It wants closure, it wants things to make sense, and it fears the unknown. That's why people stay in toxic relationships, dwell on past failures, and cling to negative emotions. They would rather hold on to something familiar, even if it's painful, than face the uncertainty of letting go. But the truth is, nothing in life is permanent. People change, situations change, and emotions change. The more you try to resist this reality, the more you suffer. Instead of fighting against change, learn to flow with it. Instead of clinging to what was, embrace what is. Instead of fearing the unknown, trust that life will unfold as it should. The mental freedom that comes from letting go. When you master the ability to let go, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and emotional exhaustion. You no longer waste energy on things you cannot change. You stop replaying old conversations in your head. You stop expecting people to behave a certain way. You stop resisting reality. Instead, you shift your focus to the present moment, where true power exists. Imagine how much lighter you would feel if you let go of past mistakes. Instead of blaming yourself, see them as lessons that helped you grow. Other people's opinions. Instead of seeking approval, trust your own path. Regrets. Instead of wishing things had been different, accept what happened and move forward. Unrealistic expectations. Instead of demanding perfection, embrace life as it is. The need to control everything. Instead of resisting change, adapt with flexibility and ease. How to practice letting go. Letting go is a skill that requires practice. Here are some powerful ways to develop it. Accept what you cannot change. Many people suffer because they refuse to accept reality. They hold on to the past, wishing things had turned out differently, but the past cannot be changed. The only thing you have control over is how you choose to move forward. Every time you find yourself dwelling on something beyond your control, remind yourself, this is not mine to carry anymore. I choose to let it go. Reframe your perspective. Instead of seeing letting go as a loss, see it as a gain. Letting go of negative thoughts makes space for peace. Letting go of toxic relationships makes room for better connections. Letting go of self-doubt allows confidence to grow. Shift your mindset. Letting go is not about losing, it's about making space for something better. Detach from outcomes. One of the biggest sources of anxiety is the need for things to go exactly as planned. But life rarely unfolds in a predictable way. The more attached you are to specific outcomes, the more you suffer when things don't go your way. Instead of clinging to rigid expectations, adopt a mindset of detachment and trust. Set your intentions, put in the effort, but then let go of the need to control the result. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is the art of being present. When you are fully engaged in the present moment, you are not thinking about the past or worrying about the future. You are simply experiencing life as it is, without attachment. The more you practice mindfulness, through meditation, deep breathing, or simply focusing on your senses, the easier it becomes to let go of unnecessary worries. Forgive yourself and others. Holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. When you refuse to forgive, you keep yourself trapped in the pain of the past. Forgiveness does not mean condoning bad behavior. It means freeing yourself from the burden of anger and resentment. Let go of the need for revenge or validation. Choose peace over bitterness. Declutter your life. Letting go isn't just about emotions, it's also about simplifying your physical space. A cluttered environment creates mental clutter. Get rid of things you no longer need. Clean out your space. Letting go of unnecessary physical belongings can be a symbolic act of releasing mental and emotional baggage as well. Release the need to be right. Many people hold on to arguments and conflicts simply because they want to be right. But ask yourself, would I rather be right or would I rather be free? Choosing peace over pride is a sign of wisdom. Not every disagreement needs to be won. Sometimes the best response is to let it go and move on. The transformation that comes with letting go. When you learn to let go, your entire life transforms. You feel lighter. You stop carrying unnecessary burdens. You gain clarity. Your mind is no longer clouded by regrets or anxieties. You experience more peace. You stop reacting to every little thing. You attract better experiences. By releasing what no longer serves you, you make room for new opportunities. You become emotionally stronger. You no longer let external events dictate your happiness. Letting go is not about giving up. It's about freeing yourself. It's about choosing peace over attachment, clarity over chaos, and freedom over control. It's about understanding that life is constantly changing, and true strength comes from your ability to adapt. You do not need to hold on to everything. You do not need to control every outcome. You do not need to carry the weight of things that no longer serve you. True power comes when you release what is holding you back and trust that life will unfold exactly as it's meant to. The past is gone, the future is unknown, but right now, in this moment, you have the power to choose peace. Let go and set yourself free. Chapter 11. The Power of Patience. Mastering the art of waiting without losing control. In today's fast-paced world, patience is a rare but powerful trait. People want instant results, immediate gratification, and quick success. They become frustrated when things take longer than expected. They feel anxious when progress is slow. They give up when they don't see immediate outcomes. But the truth is, anything truly worthwhile, whether it's success, mastery, personal growth, or deep relationships, takes time. The ability to be patient is not just about waiting. It's about waiting with control, discipline, and trust. A patient person does not waste energy on frustration or anxiety. They understand that life unfolds at its own pace and that rushing the process often leads to mistakes, stress, and failure. Patience is not weakness. It is the ultimate display of inner strength. Why most people struggle with patience. Most people are conditioned to expect immediate results. Technology has made everything faster. Instant messaging, fast food, overnight shipping, and on-demand entertainment. Society glorifies quick success stories, making it seem like everything should happen instantly. But this mindset leads to frustration and disappointment when reality doesn't match expectations. The truth is, behind every great success, there is patience, perseverance, and time. The most successful people in the world did not get where they are overnight. They put in years of effort, endured setbacks, and stayed committed even when results were slow. The ability to remain patient in the face of obstacles is what separates those who succeed from those who give up too soon. Another reason people struggle with patience is that they tie their happiness to the future. They think, I'll be happy once I get that job, that relationship, that money. This mindset keeps them in a constant state of dissatisfaction, always chasing the next goal, never fully enjoying the present. But patience teaches you to embrace the process, not just the destination. The benefits of patience. A patient mind is a powerful mind. Here's why developing patience will change your life. You make better decisions. When you are patient, you don't rush into bad choices out of desperation. You take your time, think clearly, and make decisions based on wisdom rather than impulse. You reduce stress and anxiety. Impatience creates frustration, worry, and emotional instability. Patience brings calmness, allowing you to handle challenges without unnecessary stress. You develop resilience. Life will test you. Those who lack patience give up at the first sign of struggle. Those who are patient keep going, knowing that every challenge is part of the journey. You build stronger relationships. Patience allows you to listen, understand, and communicate effectively. It prevents unnecessary conflicts and helps you maintain healthy, long-lasting relationships. You enjoy life more. Instead of always being in a rush for the next big thing, you learn to appreciate where you are right now. How to develop patience. Patience is a skill that can be trained. Here are powerful ways to develop it. Reframe your perspective on time. Most people get impatient because they focus only on the end goal rather than the process. Instead of seeing time as an enemy, see it as your ally. Time allows you to grow, improve, and refine your skills. When you start seeing delays as part of the journey rather than obstacles, patience becomes easier. Train yourself to wait. A simple way to build patience is to intentionally delay gratification. If you feel the urge to check your phone, wait 5 minutes. If you want to buy something, give it a week. If you're in a conversation, let the other person finish before responding. These small exercises strengthen your ability to wait without frustration. Breathe through frustration. Whenever impatience arises, pause. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, why am I rushing? Is this worth my stress? Most of the time, impatience is unnecessary. Taking a few seconds to breathe helps you regain control of your emotions. Focus on progress, not perfection. Many people become impatient because they expect perfect results immediately. Instead of aiming for instant perfection, focus on small, daily improvements. Every day you take a step forward, you're getting closer to your goal, even if progress feels slow. Trust the process. Some of the best things in life take years to build. Strong relationships, a successful career, financial stability, and personal mastery all require long-term patience. The most powerful mindset shift is learning to trust that everything is unfolding as it should. Instead of resisting time, work with it. Reduce impulsive reactions. Impatience often leads to emotional outbursts, anger, frustration, or anxiety. The next time you feel impatience rising, practice self-discipline. Instead of reacting immediately, wait. Observe your emotions. Give yourself space before responding. Over time, this trains your mind to stay calm under pressure. Find meaning in the waiting. Instead of seeing waiting as wasted time, use it productively. If you are stuck in traffic, listen to an audiobook. If you are waiting for success, use the time to improve yourself. If a situation is taking longer than expected, find ways to grow during the process. When you shift your perspective, waiting becomes an opportunity, not an obstacle. Patience in different areas of life. In success and personal growth. Success is a long game. You cannot master a skill overnight, and you cannot achieve greatness without time. Be patient with your progress. In relationships, misunderstandings happen. People make mistakes. Instead of reacting immediately, practice patience. Give people the space to explain, improve, and grow. In health and fitness, physical transformation takes time. Many people quit their fitness journey because they don't see immediate results. Trust the process, stay consistent, and the results will come. In financial growth, wealth is not built overnight. Those who practice patience, invest wisely, and stay consistent see long-term financial success. The power of long-term thinking. Impatience is the mindset of people who seek quick fixes and short-term rewards, but true power lies in long-term thinking. Instead of focusing on immediate gains, ask yourself, where will this decision lead me in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years? Successful people don't chase instant results. They make decisions that pay off in the long run. They build, refine, and improve over time. They know that great things take years to create, and they are willing to wait. Patience is not about doing nothing. It's about waiting with wisdom, discipline, and trust. It's about understanding that good things take time, growth takes time, and mastery takes time. The more you develop patience, the more control you gain over your mind, emotions, and life. The world rewards those who can endure, who can persist, and who can wait for the right moment. If you master patience, you master life. Chapter 12. The Power of Consistency. Small actions, big results. Success, personal growth, and transformation are not built in a single moment. They are the result of consistent daily actions over time. Most people overestimate what they can achieve in a short period and underestimate what they can achieve with steady effort over months and years. Consistency is the secret to mastery, success, and lasting change. The difference between those who achieve great things and those who don't is not talent, intelligence, or luck. It is consistent effort. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who make big, dramatic moves all at once. They are the ones who show up every single day, even when they don't feel like it. They understand that small efforts, repeated daily, create unstoppable momentum. But consistency is hard. It requires discipline, patience, and commitment. Many people start strong, but as soon as motivation fades, they give up. They look for shortcuts, quick fixes, or instant results, and when they don't see immediate progress, they lose interest. But the truth is, consistency always wins in the long run. Why most people fail to stay. Consistent. Many people struggle with consistency because they rely on motivation. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. If you only take action when you feel like it, you will never be consistent. Expect fast results. When people don't see instant progress, they get discouraged and quit. They don't realize that true success comes from long-term effort. Make unrealistic goals. Setting goals that are too extreme or unsustainable leads to burnout and failure. Consistency is about small, achievable steps. Let emotions control them. Some days, you won't feel like putting in the effort. If you let emotions dictate your actions, you will never build discipline. Lose focus. People get distracted by new goals, new ideas, or external influences. They jump from one thing to another instead of staying committed to one path over time. The truth is, consistency is not about perfection, it's about persistence. You don't have to be perfect every day. You just have to keep going, even when progress is slow, even when you don't see results, and even when you feel like giving up. The compounding power of small actions. Imagine two people. Person A exercises once a month for 4 hours. Person B exercises for just 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. After 6 months, who will be in better shape? Obviously, person B, because small, consistent efforts produce greater results than occasional big efforts. The same applies to learning a new skill, building wealth, improving relationships, or mastering self-control. Consistency compounds over time. The problem is that in the beginning, results are not obvious. Most people give up because they don't see immediate change. But behind the scenes, something powerful is happening. Habits are forming, skills are developing, and momentum is building. Every time you read a book for 10 minutes, you become a better thinker. Save a little money each month, your financial security grows. Train your mind daily, your mental strength improves. Show up for your goals consistently, you become unstoppable. At first, it may feel like nothing is happening, but over time, these small actions create exponential growth. How to build unstoppable consistency. Focus on small daily actions. Most people fail because they set huge, overwhelming goals. Instead, start small. If you want to write a book, don't aim for 10 pages a day. Start with 1 paragraph. If you want to get fit, don't try to work out for 2 hours. Start with 10 minutes a day. Small habits are easy to maintain and lead to long-term success. Create a system, not just a goal. A goal is the result you want, but a system is the process that gets you there. For example, goal, lose 20 pounds. System, exercise for 30 minutes, 5 days a week, and eat healthy. Goal, become a better speaker. System, practice speaking for 10 minutes a day. Forget about the goal, focus on the system. If you follow the system consistently, the results will come automatically. Remove the all-or-nothing mindset. Many people quit because they think, if I can't do it perfectly, why bother? But progress is better than perfection. If you miss a workout, don't give up. Just get back on track the next day. If you eat unhealthy once, don't quit your diet. Just make a better choice at the next meal. Consistency is about progress, not perfection. Make it easy to start. If a habit is difficult, you will resist it. Make it so easy that you can't say no. Want to read more? Start with just 1 page a day. Want to meditate? Start with 1 deep breath. Want to journal? Write 1 sentence. Starting is the hardest part. Once you build momentum, consistency becomes effortless. Track your progress. What gets measured gets improved. Keep track of your habits. Each time you complete a small daily action, check it off. Seeing your progress will keep you motivated and committed. Remove distractions and excuses. If you constantly tell yourself, "I'll do it later," you will never be consistent. Set a specific time for your habits. Want to work out? Schedule it in your calendar. Want to study? Set a timer and commit. Want to save money? Automate your savings. Make your success automatic by eliminating distractions and excuses. Commit for the long haul. Most people quit too soon. But success is about playing the long game. Ask yourself, where will I be in 1 year if I stay consistent? What will my life look like in 5 years if I keep going? Consistency is an investment in your future self. Every small action today builds a better version of you tomorrow. Consistency versus motivation. Motivation is temporary. Some days you will feel inspired, other days you won't. But discipline and consistency don't rely on motivation. Successful people don't wait to feel like it. They do it anyway. If you only take action when you're motivated, you'll be inconsistent. But if you build discipline, you will keep going, no matter how you feel. The life-changing power of consistency. When you master consistency, your entire life changes. Your goals become inevitable. Progress becomes automatic when you show up daily. You gain self-respect. You prove to yourself that you can be reliable and disciplined. You outperform 99% of people. Most people quit. But those who stay consistent always win. You build an unstoppable mindset. Small wins create confidence, and confidence fuels greater success. Success is not about doing something big once. It's about doing small things consistently. Every great achievement starts with small, consistent actions. If you show up every day, whether you feel like it or not, you will build momentum, develop discipline, and achieve results beyond what you thought possible. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait until you feel ready. Start small, be consistent, and let time work in your favor. The future belongs to those who show up every day. Chapter 13. The Power of Resilience, Turning Setbacks into Strength. Life is unpredictable. No matter how much you plan, prepare, or work toward your goals, there will be obstacles, failures, and moments of deep disappointment. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up is not intelligence, talent, or luck. It is resilience. Resilience is the ability to adapt, recover, and push forward no matter what happens. It is the mindset that says, I may fall, but I will always rise again. Most people let setbacks define them. When they experience failure, they internalize it, thinking, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I should quit. But resilient people see failure as feedback, not defeat. They understand that setbacks are part of the process and that every difficulty is an opportunity to grow stronger. They don't avoid challenges. They embrace them, knowing that every obstacle is a stepping stone to greatness. Why most people struggle with resilience. Resilience is not something you are born with. It is something you develop. Many people struggle with resilience because they fear failure. They see failure as proof that they are not good enough rather than a lesson for improvement. Have a fixed mindset. They believe their abilities are set in stone and that setbacks mean they lack talent. Lack emotional control. They let frustration, self-doubt, and negativity overwhelm them instead of managing their emotions. Seek instant gratification. They expect success to come quickly and give up when things don't happen immediately. Lack a strong purpose. When challenges arise, they don't have a deep reason to keep going, so they quit easily. But here's the truth. Resilient people are not special. They have simply trained their minds to see setbacks differently. They do not break under pressure. They become stronger because of it. How to develop unshakable resilience. Reframe setbacks as learning experiences. Most people see failure as a dead end. Resilient people see it as a stepping stone. Every time something goes wrong, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I improve next time? What is this teaching me about myself? Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. When asked about his failures, he famously said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. That is the mindset of resilience. Failure is just data, not defeat. Control your response to adversity. You cannot always control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. The next time you face a challenge, pause. Instead of reacting emotionally, take a deep breath and ask yourself, what is the best way to handle this? Resilient people don't let emotions control them. They respond with clarity and strength. Build mental toughness through small challenges. Resilience is like a muscle. It grows stronger with practice. Start training your resilience by facing small challenges intentionally. Push yourself to complete difficult tasks. Step outside your comfort zone regularly. Learn to stay calm in stressful situations. The more you expose yourself to challenges, the more resilient you become. Over time, you will notice that things that once overwhelmed you no longer have the same power over you. Develop a growth mindset. A fixed mindset believes that abilities are set and that failure is proof of personal limitations. A growth mindset believes that abilities can improve through effort and learning. To develop a growth mindset, start embracing challenges instead of avoiding them. When something is difficult, remind yourself, I am growing through this experience. Struggle is a sign of progress. Every obstacle makes me stronger. This shift in perspective makes a huge difference in how you handle setbacks. Detach from the outcome. Focus on the process. Many people lose resilience because they are too focused on instant results. They want immediate success, and when they don't get it, they feel discouraged. Resilient people focus on the process, not just the result. Instead of thinking, I need to succeed right now, think, I will keep improving every day, and success will come naturally. When you focus on the long game, setbacks don't feel like failures. They feel like part of the journey. Strengthen your emotional resilience. Emotional resilience is the ability to stay calm and composed under pressure. To develop it, practice mindfulness. Stay present instead of getting lost in negative thoughts. Use deep breathing techniques. Control your nervous system to stay relaxed. Challenge negative self-talk. Replace, "I can't handle this," with "I am strong and I will find a way." The more you train yourself to stay calm in difficult moments, the more resilient you become. Surround yourself with resilient people. Your environment shapes your mindset. If you surround yourself with people who complain, make excuses, or quit easily, you will absorb those behaviors. But if you surround yourself with strong, resilient, and disciplined people, their mindset will influence you. Look for people who inspire you, those who push through adversity, stay focused on their goals, and refuse to let setbacks stop them. Their strength will become your strength. Find a deep purpose to keep going. When life gets tough, your why is what keeps you moving forward. If you don't have a strong reason behind your actions, it's easy to give up when things get hard. Ask yourself, why is this goal important to me? What is driving me to keep going? Who am I doing this for? A strong purpose makes you unstoppable. When challenges come, you don't quit. You adapt, endure, and keep going. How resilience transforms your life. The more you develop resilience, the stronger and more unshakable you become. Failure no longer scares you. You see it as a lesson, not an obstacle. You stay calm under pressure. Challenges don't overwhelm you. You push through discomfort. You don't quit when things get hard. You recover faster from setbacks. You bounce back instead of staying stuck. You gain unbreakable confidence. You trust yourself to handle anything life throws at you. Resilience is the key to turning struggles into strength, failures into lessons, and obstacles into opportunities. It is what separates those who break under pressure from those who rise above it. No matter what challenges you face, remind yourself, you are stronger than your circumstances. You have the power to adapt, to endure, and to overcome. Nothing can break you unless you let it. Fall 7 times, stand up 8. That is resilience. That is strength. That is the mindset of someone who will not be defeated. Your mind is the most powerful force in your life. It shapes your emotions, your decisions, your habits, and ultimately, your destiny. Throughout this book, we have explored the art of mental mastery, learning how to control your thoughts, discipline your emotions, and respond to life with wisdom and strength. The truth is, nothing outside of you has the power to control you unless you allow it. Every reaction, every choice, and every experience is determined by your mindset. Those who master their mind become unshakable, unaffected by external negativity, fear, or self-doubt. They do not waste energy on things they cannot control. They do not react emotionally to every challenge. Instead, they observe, strategize, and act with intention. The key lessons for mental mastery. Your first thought shapes everything. Training. Your initial reaction allows you to respond with awareness instead of impulse. Detachment brings freedom. Learning to observe without absorbing emotions gives you mental clarity and control. Reframing reality transforms challenges into opportunities. The way you interpret life determines how it affects you. Emotional alchemy turns negative energy into strength. Fear, anger, and frustration can be transformed into motivation and action. Silence is power. Not every situation requires a reaction. Learning to remain calm strengthens your influence. Self-talk defines your reality. The words you tell yourself daily shape your confidence, decisions, and future. The unshakable mind is built through self-control. Nothing can shake you if you refuse to be controlled by external forces. The art of presence unlocks true peace. When you stay in the moment, fear and anxiety lose their grip. Discipline creates mental strength. The more you train your mind, the more control you gain over your actions and emotions. Letting go sets you free. Releasing what no longer serves you allows space for new opportunities and peace. Patience leads to success. Those who endure, persist, and trust the process always come out ahead. Consistency is the key to growth. Small daily efforts lead to massive long-term transformation. Resilience turns setbacks into strength. True strength is measured not by how much you avoid failure, but by how quickly you recover from it. The power is in your hands. You now have the tools to train your mind, master your emotions, and take full control of your reactions. But knowledge alone is not enough. The real transformation happens when you apply these principles daily. Start training your thoughts. Observe your first reaction and choose a better one. Practice patience and self-discipline. Stay committed to small improvements every day. Reframe challenges. Instead of seeing difficulties as obstacles, see them as opportunities for growth. Let go of what you can't control. Free yourself from unnecessary stress and focus on what truly matters. Stay consistent. The biggest changes come from showing up daily, even when progress feels slow. Life will continue to test you. Challenges will come, setbacks will happen, and there will be moments when doubt creeps in. But if you have mastered your mind, nothing can break you. You will face difficulties with confidence, handle emotions with control, and navigate life with wisdom and strength. Your mind is your greatest weapon. Master it, and you will master everything. The journey begins now. Take control. Own your power, shape your reality.